Let's get our landing gear out and we'll stand this helicopter up, get it standing on its feet, and this part will require some Loctite. Okay, so we're going to need some Loctite for this next part. Let's go ahead and do that. Let's go turn this so you can see that. Beautiful. I mean, that thing's just an awesome helicopter. I mean, flight performance wise, if you have not seen the helicopter fly, or you're just getting started and you chose to give me 700, this helicopter has been used at competitions around the world. It's won many contests by various pilots, and it's just a solid machine. So whatever you can throw at it as far as in the form of 3D, the 700 will be able to take the pain, no problem. So let's go ahead and put these skids in here. There's a right and left side, and a line logo is facing out. Alright, so we'll do that. Slide that in there. Too far. That up. Alright. Okay, before I get all that going, let's take a look in the bag here. This is a 700 HG1A. Alright. Okay, keep it on your bench. Little screws. There's some grub screws there. End caps. Okay. If you're flying off asphalt, these are good. These little stoppers, called skid stoppers, you can put them on your skids. These are the end caps here that will CA in. And let's go ahead and put this on the frame here. Let's take a look at this. Flip this over, this down, facing forward. Let's go ahead and get some Loctite. And you see you got a pretty complete helicopter here already in a relatively short amount of time. And that's the great thing about Align helicopters. They do go together very quickly. There's a lot of interlocking parts that make it relatively simple to put together, and the manual does a great job of illustrating the various processes of the build to make it very straightforward. Again, this will take you, if you're just doing it for your first time, maybe 5 hours, of pure building. But if you stop, take breaks or whatever, it might take you a little longer, but you'll have a quality product that I think you find flies excellent. Let's get that lined up there. There we go. An excellent flying helicopter. Quality that's, I'd say, the best that you're going to find out there, actually. I mean, as far as the components and everything that comes with it. Not to mention the support and part support that you'll find at your local hobby shops. I don't think you'll find another helicopter that has that type of support. I mean, there are other helicopters out there, but Align has distribution in place, as well as many retailers throughout the United States and around the world for that matter, that have product on hand to service your helicopter if you ever need part support for it. So makes it a great thing when you can go down to your local hobby shop, go in there, there's parts, you've had a mishap, they have them there on the wall, you get what you need, get out the door, put it back together and get out flying again. That's what we like doing. If you know anything about Align, we fly all of our product. We have a lot of the top pilots from around the world flying our products, and they test it rigorously year in, you know, day in, day out, you know, just non-stop flying, always flying the helicopter, you know, looking for ways to enhance and improve the product. So some of the features, like we've already mentioned on the V2 here, that front radio tray, it's a simple latch system. I say simple, I shouldn't say simple. It's actually pretty sophisticated, but it's a latch for your battery, and enables you to take the tray, have your batteries pre-mounted, put it in the front there. On the 700, I do this after the fact. On some of the smaller helicopters, I'll put the grub screws in first, just due to the fact that proximity between the grub screw and the frame, depending on, you know, your hand or what have you. Get that pretty snugged up. That's nice. All right, let's get some thick CA. Watch out if you're operating on your wife's table or something like that. Again, reason to have the towel. Just put a little dab of, I'm using some thick Zap. Actually, it's medium viscosity, but it's pretty thick. Put that on there. Again, you want to keep that off your wife's table, because CA doesn't go so well with the table there. Alright, so we got those caps on there. Looks nice. I left the skid, these dampeners off due to the fact that I'm going to be flying on a grass surface, and so I'm going to go ahead and forego those. If you are operating your helicopter on asphalt, they do assist in you know, allowing your skids to last a little longer if you choose to do that. But they are included with the kit, and you can use them for basically, again, to help increase the longevity of your landing skids there. Okay, got that all framed up pretty well here. Alright, let's check that. Let's check the angle, looks good. Alright, let's go ahead and put some. The only main areas you're going to need CA are on the torque tube and the bearing area. You know, for securing the bearings. And the other area is like what we're doing now. We're putting a little Loctite on these plastic end caps. And the other section that you'll need some form of CA is on the rudder push rod for the sleeve. Other than that, you don't need a whole lot. So you can get a real small bottle of CA, you know, at your local hobby dealer there, and that should get you by throughout this build. A few drops. Alright, so we're on the skids. We're looking good. We basically have the main gear, the servos, the servo trays, if you will, to go here. So we're making good progress. If you're referencing your manual, this is basically up to about page 8 right here, and I mean we're well on our way. So again, the only thing that I didn't utilize were the skid dampeners right here. I'm going to go ahead and put those aside because I'm not going to use those because I'm flying off the grass. We wanted to make sure that we're 90 on the frame, that when we're looking at the frame, we're square, we don't see any warps or bends or anything like that. It looks good. We also made a mental note that I did keep this loose, even though these screws here are tightened down. They're not Loctited just yet. The lower bearing block is. The other tip that we want to make note of is the fact that we want to make sure, right now the pinion's loose, we do not want the pinion to actually ride on the inner race of that bearing. We want it to be on the shaft, and the shaft being supported by the bearing, but we don't want the pinion to be rubbing against the inner race of that bearing. This will basically cause damage to the bearing from vibration, heat, things like that. So if we give it a few thousandths, it's gonna. Why I want to use the pan screws is because it can last a whole lot longer in and out, and you're gonna the frames without having any problems. And this will ensure that we can do that, especially on the lower frame here. And also we need those screws, the 3x6s, for the lower bearing or lower aluminum blocks that attach to the frame. Okay, so we got that. Let me tidy up again my gear here. Let's get this. Again, I'm just utilizing 4 Allen drivers, ball link pliers so far. I brought out the caliper and I also brought out the pitch gauge because of the measuring tool supply, and also a pair of needle nose pliers. But aside from that, we've built everything so far with just these quintessential tools. It's all you need really to get this helicopter going. We did show the use of the Align feathering shaft holder, which is a great tool to have. So if you don't have one, make sure you add this to your flight box. Good tool to have so you don't mar your spindle when you're doing those types of changes. Alright, let's move on. Let's see what the next part of the build entails. As it so happens, it's servos. Alright, so we're going to start working on the servo aspect of this. And for our purposes, let's pull out the cyclic servos. Let's pull these out. Beautiful things here. Alright. Let's pull these out. Okay, we have a number of bags for this stuff here. Go ahead and pull these out because it does have the screws that we need. Let me grab these. Let's get these here. Alright, so put these right here. We're going to do the servo installation for our cyclics. We're looking at, we're going to do this assembly here for our cyclics there. And if you're on a fly-barless system, like we are doing today, you want to use the inner hole on the servo horns. Okay, there's 3 aluminum servo horns included with your kit. We're going to utilize those. And then you have these smaller balls right here that we're going to utilize right now. Let's do that. We're going to utilize the inner hole again. So let's use the inner hole. Okay. And you'll notice on the servo horns themselves, the balls are going towards the inside, going facing the servo. Okay, you're going to need to do that for all 3 of these. They're all 3 going to be the same way. Okay, we'll put that aside. Next, let's do it again. So, you know, if you just turn on this video, this is, again, the servo assembly process, as well as doing the mixing arms and so forth for the rotor head component. We're utilizing the inner hole on the servo horns, and we've done the frame assembly, just the structure itself. We've done the rotor head, rotor grips, installed the thrust bearings. We've made note that we need to physically, take the bearings out of the rotor grips to ensure that we have grease, that we've greased the bearings adequately, that we made sure that their orientation, which is marked on the actual bearings themselves, and Loctited in the appropriate areas. Again, this one's facing the inside. The horns, we got 2 there. 1 more of these. Okay. I'm not sure how much time we have into this so far, but very pleasurable, easy to to build helicopter. I enjoy it. It's a lot of fun to put things together. So I hope that you enjoy assembling your helicopter just as much. Lions went through a lot of hard work to ensure that the parts fit and finish is very nice, very functional, very intuitive. So if this is your first helicopter, or this is one of many helicopters that you've assembled, I think you'll find that this thing, this helicopter, this 700 V2, goes together extremely well. Let's get our rotor servo. Again, that faces the inside as well. So let me go ahead and do that. And what you want to do on the tail servo, I believe you want it to be about 13. Let me check it here. Let me check. Where are we at? Millimeters did we want that to be? Okay, on the servo itself, just wanted to verify for you. You just need it to be on the outside hole on this 6-sprocket servo horn here. So let's go ahead and do that. Again, it's facing the inside. Get this started here. Alright. Hold here. Okay, we've got all our horns there. I'm not going to stick them on just yet. Pop them on. The reason being is I need to get it in the frame. I want to get my radio, plugged in there, and we'll get things 90 and pop things in. Alright, so let's look at what we need to do at this point here. We need to install some servos. So let's go ahead and get the actual servo hardware. Okay, we have grommets. Let's see, let me look over here what we have. Some more grommets. Let's put that there. Alright, there's this is what I'm looking for. The screw and the lock washer. Okay. So what I'll do is I'm going to put these aside, but I want to make sure that I have them available for later here. So let's get these out of the way. Let's do the same here. Okay. Alright. Okay. That one comments out on us. That's good. There we go. That's what I need. Okay. Alright. Pulling out the grommets here, not the brass part, just the grommet itself. And I'm going to do that just to create tension on the screw and to provide dampening to the servo. So let me go ahead and do that. Okay. So that goes there like so. Push this through. Okay. There are carbon trays here. See if I can become ambidextrous here. Alright, there we go, that's nice and snug there. Alright, let's go ahead and, there's actually channels in the front of the tray here where the servo is, where your wires can go. You can take this and route your wire up through there. And also, let me go ahead and, it's a little early in the game for this, but we'll go ahead and do it. I'm going to just put this, pick a side and have all your wiring go through one side once you're thinking about that. Alright, let's do this side here. Again, same thing, let's get some grommets. Here for now. Again, go ahead and route the wire. Again, you want to try and take it through one side, that way all your wiring is going to one area. Make it easier on you later on. servo plates. We'll insert that. Again, if you have any questions about your build when you're building your helicopter, and you know, just stumped on something, you know, feel free to give us shoot us an email. It's at Align RC USA. My name's Jeff. You can use Jeff, just JEFF at AlignRCUSA.com, and you know, give me your question, and we'll get back to you very quickly, and you know, try and help you out. And if you know, if you need further assistance, you know, I can direct you to who you need to talk with. So we got two of our servos in here. There's only 4 total of the whole build process, so halfway on the servos as far as installation. And when you're checking out the video, if you have any questions, you know, some of you are posting them there, feel free to do that, and then I'll respond to them as quick as possible there. Alright, so we got 2 of our servos. Again, I haven't put the plates on yet because I want the servos powered up and in their neutral point. Once I do that, I'll, you know, ensure that, you know, I'm 90 with everything else there. So, alright, let's go to the next servo here, which requires the larger of the trays, and we'll install that. Put this like this, just like you would see in your manual. That goes like so. Let me grab some more grommets here. Grommets in. Flat side faces out, just so you know. It's round, the inner part. So, plugs right in. Grommets there. Alright. Let's plug this in here. Get our carbon plates. Plug this in. So if you're building this in your garage or out the field, wherever you're building it, make sure you got a towel or something on your bench again, just to keep it bright, you know, enable you to see what you have, don't have, and just be careful when building outside of wind or something to that effect, that and then blow your stuff on the ground. So, you know. If you got a buddy that you can build with, that's even better. You can speed your build speed if you have friends that are highly enthusiasts as well. But yeah, this you can see is going together pretty quickly here. Yeah, I'm using the manual as a supplement to do the process of this build. That way, you know, if you are using the manual and something's unclear, kind of see it firsthand what we're doing here today. Alright, so we're going to install this servo here, and here's why I told you I was going to leave the motor screws without Loctite. Alright, now we need to put this in. Alright, there's 4 screws on this upper bearing block, which requires you to pop the frame apart. And then there's these 4 screws. I choose these 4 screws. So you saw where that went. It's not Loctited, and that's why I didn't Loctite it. We'll take these screws out, and I'm going to pull the motor out. But you got to see where the motor actually went, or where it goes. You know, frame's all secured. Again, that's why I didn't put Loctite on this. Because we're going to install this servo right now, and you need to, in order to put this in here, you're going to have to make sure that that's out of the way. So let's pull these out. Okay. Let's go straight up and out. There we go. Let's put this right here. You're going to put this servo in place, and you're going to want the wheel to face the top. Okay, so the servo horn's like that, facing up. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this around here, and we'll get the screws going in there right now. Alright. Again, you're utilizing the self-tapping screws. Get one started there. Get a little wrench here. Just get it started. Alright, so we got our servo in there. Okay, again, it's up top. So if you're looking at this, it's at the top. Alright, but where the wheel's going to be. And this wire is going to need to go here. And that's why we're going to use the extension. We'll take this down. And drop in our motor. And it should just be enough room just to get it in there. So our wires are all internal. Nice and clean. Put that right there for right now. Alright, so that's where that servo winds up there. And now we'll install the tail servo. Get that servo. Okay, put the grommets again for that. Pop these in. Okay, when we put our servo in, you want this groove to be facing away from the servo, like this. So we're going to drop our servo in, and then that gives a relief for this servo wire here. Alright, so now let's put these carbon caps on, attach the servo. Make sure we have our plate on there. Okay. How many screws do we have left? 4. Awesome. Alright. We need to get this. This is for our tail servo. That goes right there. This wire faces towards the back end here. And these screws go here. So, again, start it. Let me start the other one and I'll. Again, the servo, the top of the servo head, where the splines are, face the back of the helicopter here. So let me tighten this up and then I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about so you can see it more clearly. Let me just tighten this up real quick. Again, if you just tuned in, this is the Trex 700E V2 by Align. It's got a number of new features. The new features we've gone over so far have been the rotor head, the new rotor grip design, the new rotor block, the one-piece design. On the grips themselves, the actual arms can be replaced, so if you do crash or bend one, you can replace those without replacing the whole grip assembly. The other things we pointed out were the, to this point anyway, were the front radio tray slash battery tray here with the latch system. So that's right here. So we'll take a look at this and show you what this is about here in a little bit. Right now, this is where we're at as far as the assembly. We've got the frame built, landing gear applied, we've got the skids on here, bearing blocks in place, servos installed. We're at 4 servos now, and we're getting well on our way to getting the essence of what the build is here. Alright, the servo horns I haven't put on. Like I said, I want to 90 those up, but we did put them on the inside on all the servo horns. Okay, we'll put those aside. We also put it on the inside for this servo horn, because it's going to go inside here like so. And again, you'll notice this is facing the back end of the helicopter like this. Okay, this is facing the back end, and the ball's on the inside again. Alright, so we have that. We got our kind of wiring in place, so to speak. We're going to have another tray coming in right here. We're going to put our motor block back in place. This time we're going to Loctite this. Okay, so I'm going to push the wiring aside. You'll see right now. Be careful of your wire for your servo. Okay. And Okay, you gotta watch out for your wire right here. Okay? So let's let me see. Forgot which way I had this thing in here. Let me see. Check. Alright, that's that. You gotta watch this wire here. That's free. I want to get this wire right here. I want it to go along underneath this tray. It's a tight fit, but we're going to get it there. So that way all our stuff's internal. So the wire down